All right, everyone, get ready, because we are diving deep into xAI's newest creation, Grok 3. And it's not just an upgrade, it's like they took AI as we knew it and totally flipped the script.
Yeah, I'd say so. The thing that's got me hooked is the think feature. Imagine being able to actually see how the AI is thinking, not just the answer it spits out.
Whoa, that's crazy. Like we're getting a window into the AI's brain.
Exactly. It's a game changer for really understanding how it comes to its conclusions.
Wild. But hold on, before we go too deep into the how, can we take a step back? Like, what is Grok 3 exactly?
Sure, Grok 3 is, well, it's xAI's most advanced AI yet. They really upped the ante with this one and gave it a huge boost in computing power, like 10 times more than before.
Wow. Okay, so they supercharged it.
And they laser focused its training on things like reasoning, math, coding, and real-world knowledge.
So they took an already brilliant AI and put it through boot camp.
You could say that. And did you see that thing where it created a whole new video game?
Yeah, wait, what it called Break-Pong or something?
That's the one. It mashed up Pong and Breakout, and it whipped it up in just 6 minutes of thinking.
Hold up, 6 minutes. From scratch, are you kidding me?
Nope. It's mind-blowing, right. But it's not even just the speed, it's the creativity to combine those ideas like that.
Yeah, that's insane.
It points to some serious problem-solving potential. Think game design, sure, but also software development, engineering, you name it.
Wow. You're saying this thing can learn from what's out there and then actually build on it, not just repeat what it's been fed.
Exactly. It's not just parroting information, and that's just one side of what it can do. This thing has been crushing benchmarks left and right. Math, coding, you name it. It even scored over 93% on the 2025 American Invitational Mathematics Examination.
Okay, that's some next level stuff. That's like top tier math student territory.
And remember, it's still learning. Every update pushes it even further.
So if it's this good already, where does it go from here?
Well, that's where things get even more interesting. Let's talk about deep search. Imagine having access to an AI that can not only search the whole internet for you, but can actually make sense of it all.
Wait, hold on. This sounds way more advanced than just like a Google search. You're telling me it can actually sift through all the noise and conflicting information out there.
Think of it less like a search engine, more like a super-powered research assistant. Deep search can go through tons of data, even real-time news feeds, and pull out the key insights. It can even help you tackle complex social issues or do deep dives into scientific research.
Whoa, okay, so it's not just giving me a list of links, it's actually understanding the information and giving me the bottom line.
You got it. Deep search is about clarity, not just quantity.
That's a lot to take in. So instead of drowning in a sea of information, deep search throws me a life raft.
That's a great way to put it. It's really about empowering us to be more informed and make better decisions. And honestly, we've only scratched the surface. The implications for research, for learning, for just navigating this crazy world, it's mind-boggling.
All right, before we get ahead of ourselves, I think we need to break down exactly how this deep search thing works. How does it actually go through all that information and make sense of it? Where does it even begin?
Okay, great question. And that brings us right to the heart of how Grok 3's Think feature actually works in practice.
Okay, so deep search sounds amazing, but I think we need to break down how it actually works. Like, how does it actually sift through all that information and make sense of it? Where does it even begin?
That's a great question, and it brings us back to that fascinating Think feature we were talking about. Remember, Think lets us peek into Grok 3's process. It's key to understanding deep search.
So think isn't just a cool party trick. It's actually how deep search does its thing.
Precisely. It's not that Grok 3 is literally thinking like we do,
Sure.
but Think shows us the steps it takes, the connections it makes, how it weighs different pieces of information. That's how it reaches those insightful conclusions.
Okay, I'm starting to get it. So instead of just giving me a pile of links like a regular search engine, deep search actually analyzes and synthesizes that information. Like it shows its work.
Exactly. It's like the difference between someone just telling you an answer versus showing you how they worked it out step by step. Let's say you ask Deep Search about, I don't know, the impact of a new electric vehicle tax credit.
Ooh, that's a hot topic.
Right. So Deep Search wouldn't just give you a yes or no on whether it's good or bad. It could start by pulling in economic data on car sales, then factor in expert opinions on environmental impact, maybe even analyze social media sentiment to see how people feel about it, and then give you a breakdown of the potential outcomes.
And I'm guessing all of this would be happening in real time, right?
You got it. Deep search can access and process information incredibly quickly, so you're getting insights that are up to the minute relevant.
Okay, I can see how this would be invaluable for researchers, policymakers, anyone who needs to make sense of complex, fast-changing information.
Absolutely. But think about how this could revolutionize education, too. Imagine a student researching, say, the history of space exploration.
Ooh, a topic near and dear to my heart.
With Deep Search, they wouldn't just get a list of websites. They could ask a question like, what were the biggest challenges faced by early astronauts? And Deep Search would analyze primary sources, historical documents, even astronaut biographies, and present the information in a way that's both comprehensive and engaging.
Wow, that's incredible. It's like having a personal historian guiding you through the research process.
And because you can see Deep Search's thinking through each step, you're learning how to evaluate information critically, not just blindly accepting what it tells you.
That's a crucial point. It's not about replacing our own critical thinking skills, but rather giving us the tools to think even better.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Deep Search isn't a shortcut to knowledge. It's a way to deepen our understanding and make us more informed decision makers.
But let's be real, there are always concerns when you have such powerful technology. What about the potential for bias or misinformation creeping in?
That's a really important consideration, and it's why the transparency of think is so crucial. By seeing how Deep Search arrives at its conclusions, you can spot potential biases, fact-check its sources, and make sure you're not just blindly accepting everything it presents.
So it's about being a discerning user, not just passively consuming information.
Exactly. Deep Search is a powerful tool, but like any tool, it's how we use it that matters. We need to stay engaged, critical, and curious.
Well said. But okay, I can't help myself, I gotta ask. Beyond research and education, where else could Deep Search have a major impact? What other fields are you excited to see it applied to?
Oh, the possibilities are endless. Imagine journalists using Deep Search to investigate complex stories, lawyers analyzing mountains of legal documents in seconds, urban planners simulating the effects of different policy decisions.
Okay, stop. I'm getting overwhelmed with possibilities. But seriously, it seems like every field could benefit from this kind of power.
And this is just the beginning. Remember, Grok 3 is constantly evolving. xAI is constantly adding new features and capabilities. It's hard to even imagine where we'll be in a few years.
Right, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's talk about what xAI has already announced is in the works for Grok 3. What are some of the upcoming features you're most excited about?
One of the biggest ones is tool integration. Imagine Grok 3 being able to directly interact with other software applications, not just pull information from them.
Hold on. So you're saying it could, like, analyze data in a spreadsheet, control a robot arm, maybe even write a symphony using music software?
It's not out of the realm of possibility. xAI has also talked about giving Grok 3 the ability to execute code, which means it wouldn't just write code, it could actually run it and interact with the results.
Whoa, that's next level. So instead of just understanding information, it could actually start shaping and creating things in the digital world.
You're getting it. And that leads to some really profound questions about the future of AI and its role in our lives. Like, what happens when AI can not only process information, but also act on it?
That's a big question. I mean, we're already seeing AI impacting so many aspects of our lives, from how we work to how we consume information. Where do we even begin to grapple with that kind of shift?
Well, I think it starts with understanding the technology itself, which is why deep dives like this are so important. We need to be informed, we need to be having these conversations, and we need to be thinking critically about the future we want to create.
I couldn't agree more. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to something as transformative as AI.
Well said. And speaking of knowledge, let's talk about how Grok 3 is changing the landscape of research and education.
Okay, my brain is officially buzzing with all these possibilities. But let's shift gears a bit and talk about the impact Grok 3 is already having, especially when it comes to research and education.
It's a fascinating landscape that's changing rapidly, you know? We've touched on how deep search can, like, revolutionize research. But what really excites me is the potential for personalized learning.
Yeah, we talked about that a bit earlier, but I'd love to dig deeper. Imagine every student having like an AI tutor that can adapt to how they learn best, answer their questions right away, and explain those super complex concepts in the way that clicks for them.
It's like having a world-class expert on every subject at your fingertips, 204/7. Think how that could change everything for students who, don't do well with traditional teaching, or those who want to explore outside the normal curriculum.
It's kind of mind-blowing.
Right.
But doesn't this raise questions about teachers? Like, if AI can do all that, what happens to the human side of education?
That's a great point. I don't think AI will replace teachers entirely, but it'll definitely change their role. Teachers will be more like mentors, guiding students, encouraging critical thinking, and providing that human connection we all need.
So it's not about AI versus teachers. It's about them working together to create a richer, more personalized learning experience. That's a really optimistic way to look at it.
I think optimism is key here. We can't let fear of the unknown hold us back from all the amazing things AI can do to make our lives better.
Totally agree. But, okay, let's zoom out even further and think about the bigger picture, the societal implications of Grok 3. What happens to the workforce when AI can do things that we thought only humans could do?
It's a question on everyone's mind, and for good reason. We're already seeing AI automating things in lots of industries, but Grok 3's capabilities, they take it to another level.
So are we all going to be replaced by robots? That's a kind of scary thought.
I don't think it's that simple. Look, history's shown us that technology always changes the job market. It doesn't always mean we lose jobs, though. New technologies mean new opportunities, new industries, even new jobs we can't even imagine yet.
So it's not that jobs will vanish, they'll just change.
Exactly. The key is to adapt, to keep learning, and focus on skills that work with AI, not against it.
So things like creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, those things that make us human.
Exactly. Those skills are even more important now when AI can handle those routine tasks. It frees us up to focus on what we do best, being creative, solving tough problems, connecting with each other.
That's a really hopeful message. It's about embracing what AI can do while remembering what makes us special.
You nailed it. And I think that's the big takeaway from our deep dive today. Grok 3 is amazing. It's a huge leap forward, but it's a tool. We decide how to use that tool to shape a better future for us and everyone who comes after.
Well said. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one thing you hope our listeners take away from all this?
Stay curious, stay engaged, and don't be afraid of the unknown. The future of AI is, well, it's being written right now. And we all have a part to play in that story.
I love that. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of Grok 3. It's been an incredible ride.
The pleasure was all mine. Until next time, keep exploring and keep learning.